everyone, and welcome back to the Adelaide Cottage podcast. My name is Shauna, and I'm recording from Buffalo, New York. This is a podcast about knitting and hand-dyeing yarn, sometimes a little bit of sewing or quilting. I don't have any to show today as far as sewing and quilting, except for one picture. I did finish my Halloween quilt, but my husband packed it away with the Halloween decorations. How not cool is that? Handmade quilts do not go in decoration boxes. So I'm going to have to fish that out and put it in our blanket pile because you can use handmade quilts all through the year. I don't care what season it is. But I'm going to insert a picture of that for you later on in the episode. Hopefully I don't forget. But to all the new viewers, thank you so much for checking out the podcast. I hope that there's something here that you really enjoy and keeps you coming back for more. And to all of my loyal Adelaide Cottage podcast viewers, thank you so much for returning. It's been quite a while, and I'm happy to be back today to talk with you. So the last time I recorded was pre-Rhinebeck, so I do have a few things to show you from my Rhinebeck haul. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on Rhinebeck stuff because I feel like it's kind of been covered in so many other podcasts, what it was like there and things like that. So I don't want to bore you. For me, it was absolutely amazing. I feel like I had Rhinebeck hangover. For sure, I'm definitely going back next year. So I'm going to start with the finished object, go into my whips, and then move on to some happy mail, and then I'll talk to you about what I purchased at Rhinebeck and what I did at Rhinebeck and all of that. And then I'll show you some yarn that will be going into the shop in the near future. So, sorry for the crinkling of the bag. The first finished object that I have is a hat that I made for my husband, Jason. And he is a deer hunter. Every year at around Thanksgiving, him and the men in the family go to a state park in New York to hunt deer. And then if he's lucky, he gets the deer processed, and we have organic lean meat all through the year, and we share it with the whole family. I haven't been eating meat in quite a while. It's just not something that I enjoy anymore. But the rest of the family enjoys it, so if they do want to eat meat, I would prefer it to be an organic lean cut. So anyways, I thought I would knit him a hat, and it's kind of a funny pattern. It's called the fornicating deer pattern, and it's just a simple chart that is on Ravelry for free. I will put show notes in the Ravelry group, which is Adelaide Cottage on Ravelry, and that's also my Ravelry name for my personal projects page, and you can also find me there on Instagram. But all the details for this hat and the link to the pattern will be in my projects page and in the show notes. So I took the chart, which can be used for hats, socks, anything like that, and I turned it into a hat. So here it is for him. It's two deer mating. It's kind of subtle. I didn't use a lot of contrast. The yarn that I chose, I feel like. So you really have to look at it. It's showing up more clear and contrasty on the screen, actually, than it is in real life. But the pattern actually has two deer with antlers, but I made one a doe and removed the antlers from her. And yeah, it just goes like that all the way around. So the pattern includes the two deer, the tree, and then this design at the bottom. So this is a colorwork Fair Isle design. I did a 2x2 rib for about 1.5 inches. What size needles did I use? I feel like I used a US size 5, needle for this, and I use Knit Picks Wool of the Andes Tweed. Sorry. And the colors, I'm going to put it in the bottom. It's been a while since I finished this, probably 3 or 4 weeks, so I don't remember. Yeah, I don't even want to guess, so I'm going to put it down here for you so that you can see. But I really love this yarn, and he loves the way it turned out. I love the little specks of tweed in there. So yeah, it was a really easy chart to follow. And then I just did regular decreases for the top. But all my notes are on my projects page, so if you're interested in the details, feel free to head over there and take a look. But he was really happy with this and the way it turned out. So, yay! A new project that I cast on pretty recently is the Comfort Fade Cardi by Andrea Mowry. So I loved the photos on the pattern design. I loved the colors that she chose, but I wanted to twist them up just a little bit and make that top turquoise color just a little bit brighter. And it's kind of out of my comfort zone, and you'll see just in a minute. Oh, where did I put the... There it is. Where did I put the pattern? Okay. So I decided to dye my own yarn for it. And I have it in this little Knitter's Pride pattern holder, which I think I showed on an earlier podcast. I have a larger one as well that will fit an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper spread out. But I've been using that one for cross stitching, and it is really, really wonderful. But there's a snap closure. It fits in a large size project bag. And then I have the pattern in here, and it comes with these magnets and then a long magnet as well. And then there's a pocket here for notions or whatnot, and a pen holder. So I bought this on Amazon, and like I said, I have both sizes, and I really like them both for different reasons. But I'm going to show you, I'm sure you've seen this all over social media, but I'm going to show it to you anyways. This is what it looks like, just in case you haven't seen it yet. So I wanted to dye something similar, but like I said, the turquoise is brighter and bolder, and I added some more gold into the gray as it fades to the bottom. What size did I make? I'm going with the medium. And yeah, this uses DK weight and 4 different colors. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the yarn that I chose. I chose to use this one for the top color near the shoulders. And I haven't even named these, to be honest with you. I just dyed them up for my specific project. So I don't even have colorway names. But I feel like it's brighter in real life than it is showing up here. And then my second color, which I only have a little bit left, is this. So it has the turquoise, and then we tied in some gray and purple. And then this is the third color. So we've got the turquoise, the gray, the purple, and then I added gold. And then the fourth color, which I haven't started knitting with yet, is just the gray and the gold. So I think it's going to be really pretty. And this is what I have done so far. I'll show you the needles that I'm using in just a few minutes. But this is a reversed stockinette garment, which I thought, when I looked at it, I thought it was just garter stitch, but it's not. It's different. Since you're not doing it in the round, you're knitting one side, you do knit stitches, and the other side is purling all the way across. Whereas with garter, you knit both sides, and then one side comes out as pearls and the other one looks like knit stitches, and then you get that garter effect. I'm trying to just straighten this out so that you can see it very well, so that it looks like a sweater. Okay, so this is coming out a lot more muted in the photo, but I'm going to try to insert a picture that I posted on Instagram because I feel like that represented the colors very well. So this top fade is not as subtle as I would have liked, but I still really love it. The fade going into the third color with the gold is a lot more pleasing to my eye. So I'm really loving it. It's a nice fun knit. It's going by so fast because it's a DK weight and not fingering. And then I have this little coffee progress keeper coffee cup from the Gnome Knitter. And then I separated for the arms. And they're inside out. I'm having trouble showing this to you today. So it's a raglan shape. And then there will be, the big yoke collar that you can just cozy up with. So yeah, I'm really, really loving this. And I am using the Likey. I know it's not how you say it, but I don't know how to say it. I bought these on Amazon. I did not get the whole set. I got one fixed circular just to see if I like it first before I spend, a decent amount of money on a whole set. But this is US size 5 or 3.75 millimeter on a, I believe it's a 30-inch cable. And I really love these needles. I do. So I think eventually I'm going to invest in a full set of them. So that's my Comfort Fade. Really enjoying it. And I have this in my chicken boots bag, which is perfect for a large sweater project. It's got this space. I think I've shown this to you a couple of times, but there's this nice space in the front for your notions, and it's very roomy inside. It fits all 4 of my skeins of DK weight, my project, and this pattern holder. There are a couple colors that require 2 skeins for the size I'm knitting, and those I have not caked up yet, but I do have them dyed up and ready to go. I'm really enjoying this sweater knitting, especially in the cooler weather. Okay, what do I have now? Okay, another project that I don't think I've shown on the podcast is in this pumpkin spice latte project bag from Jilly of the Knitting Broomstick on Etsy, and she also has a podcast. And we decided to do this little knit along together using the same yarn. We chose to use Gnome Acres fingering sock yarn in the Scruffy Gnome Base, which is an 85% superwash merino, 15% Donegal tweed. So we're both using this. And, oh my goodness. You guys, can you tell that I'm out of practice? So that's that. I really love it. It looks like a candy corn to me. And then for the contrast heels and toes, I decided to use another Gnome Acres colorway called Chai Chai. That was gifted to me by Jilly quite a while ago. And it's really pretty. It's got kind of taupe, a taupe color in there, cream and white. And this is on the House Gnome base, which is 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. So let's get ahead and show you the actual socks. Okay, so I'm doing both socks concurrently. Let's see, which one am I further on? I guess it doesn't matter. So here's what I have. I really love knitting with this yarn. It's a lot of fun. So I did a 25 row 2x2 rib for the cuff, and then 50 rows for the leg. And then I decided to do a fish lips kiss heel with the Chai Chai colorway. And I'll do the Chai Chai for the toes as well. So I have the heels done on both socks. And then I started this one. I started the foot on this one. And then Joanna of the Gnome Knitter kindly made us these little pumpkin spice latte progress keepers. How real do those look? I can't even. Look at this needle. So, okay, so Zings I like, except that they bend very easily for me. The other one is bent too, just not as bad. That's pretty bad. So they are, I love the tips on them, but I've had issues with them bending. They were even bent when they were sent to me. And then this one is the Chowgu Minis, which are my favorite. I'm knitting these both on US size 0, 2.0 millimeters, and magic looping them both. But these are definitely my favorite needles, the Chowgu. All right, so that is another whip that I have going. I decided to knit more on my husband's socks because I'd like to gift them to him for Christmas. And I started these quite a while ago and had one sock done. And then realized that I showed this the last time, but I had a little snafu right here where I dropped a stitch. So I have it hanging out on a little safety pin. I don't know, I just got discouraged with it and then just didn't want to knit the other sock. But he really loved this colorway. He picked it out himself, and I'd love to finish these for him as a surprise, but that just aggravated me. And it already started to like run a little bit. I don't know if you can see it. See how it kind of ran up. So I'm going to have to pull it down and tie it somehow, hoping that it doesn't mess up the stripes too bad. Okay, so same thing here. The socks before this, I'm sorry, I did 56 stitches on the US size 0, fish lips kiss heel, and then I'm going to Kitchener close the toe, which is what I always do. And then for his socks, I'm doing 64 stitches, 2x2 rib for, I believe I did 20 rows on the cuff, 55 on the leg. I believe all of my notes are in my Ravelry page. Fish lips kiss heel, and then he wears a 10.5 US size. I knit 9 inches from the heel, the bottom of the heel, to right before I started the toe decreases. So, and when he tried the first sock on, it fit him very well. So that will be my recipe for his socks. And then I started the second one. And I'm enjoying them all over again. I really am. This goes to show you how long ago I started this project. It's in my handmade summertime gardening patchwork drawstring bag. And then I made my own little DPN cozy to go with it. But it's winter. Goodness gracious. I'm not even kicking myself in the butt anymore for projects that linger. I knit what I want to knit every day. I just pick the project that I'm drawn to. I don't stay monogamous anymore. I don't know. My theory is now to have 2 pairs of socks on the needles, 1 shawl, my 2 scrappy blankets, and 1 miscellaneous thing, like a hat or something like that. So as long as I stick to that, I don't feel overwhelmed, and everything eventually gets done. So this is how far I've come. I turned the heel actually the other day, just a few days ago, and the boys were taking a bath, I turned the heel and started the foot. So no drop stitches this time. And then I have this little, of course, the Gnome Knitter chocolate chip cookie, and my friend Emily, who is just edible, made this for me, had her make it for me and gifted it to me last year at Christmas time, and she has the other half, which is really sweet. And for these, I'm using Zing's DPNs in the US size 0 or 2 millimeter size. So yeah, sock knitting is just, I'm so glad that I finally learned how to knit socks. Now that I know how to knit them, I mentioned before how kind of afraid I was to start knitting socks. I was afraid of the fit because the only couple of times I did knit them, they were too big or too small, or way too big or way too small, or I messed up somewhere, and it was just discouraging. I feel like once you get your fit down pat, or like your sock recipe for whoever you're knitting the socks for, it's just the same thing over and over again. And once you knit like 2 or 3 pairs of them, I feel like then you're ready to branch off into other things like patterns in your socks, and even designing your own little scrappy socks, or, you know, adding a row of another color or a couple of rows right at the top of the cuff, or I don't know, I feel like there's so much that I feel like I can do now with sock knitting, so that's really exciting. And this yarn is just a Patton's Croy sock stripes, the blue striped rag colorway. So there's the label and the colorway. And yeah, okay, and then I knit more on my Beauty and the Beast socks, as I'm naming them, in my lovely Love Sock Wool Beauty and the Beast Belle project bag. The inside is lined with this beautiful red fabric with the roses. And these are another classic vanilla sock Shauna recipe. This was the first one I had done last time, and then it was put on hold. So these are for me, but I don't know, I feel like I knit them kind of long. I wear an 8.5 US size, but I feel like the foot is long. I'm gonna have to try them on. But same thing, 25 rows, 2x2 rib, 50 for the leg, fish lips kiss heel, a certain length for my foot, and then I do decreases and Kitchener the toe when I have 12 stitches left on the needle. And that fits really well for me. So that's what I do every time. But I'm going to change it up. Watch, next podcast, I'm going to have some fancy socks. You wait and see. All right. Make sure I didn't drop any. And then this is the other one. And how far I've come on here. And these are, again, my Chowgoos. Chowgoo minis, very flexible cable, size 0. And the self-striping is such a pleasure to work with. You just want to keep knitting and not stop. And this is the ball of yarn, and I'll tell you what the yarn is in just a minute because I have to get the ball band out. Because I forget things. A lot, quite often. And here it is. It's an opal winter build polyp wintergeist number 625. I believe I purchased this on eBay, which if you're ever looking for a hard to find yarn or one that they don't really make anymore, eBay's usually your answer, and sometimes Etsy. And then you can, when you go onto eBay, when you search for something, and then you click the little heart button at the top under save, then it will like email you or send you notifications whenever that item pops up for sale on eBay. So that's a really nice option. I do that quite often when I'm looking for something in particular. All right, so those are my socks. I haven't touched my Aisling shawl. I'm still on the border. It's a cabled border, a cabled attached border. It takes a very long time, and I have to concentrate when I work on that. And it's very hard to do that with my beautiful children running around. I would much rather just sit and knit on a simple sock and watch them play than to sit there and try to knit a cabled border on a shawl and get aggravated and make mistakes. So whenever I do have quiet time, I work on that. I'm not in a rush to get it finished. It's a shawl for me. So I'm absolutely in love with it. I am looking forward to the day I can wear it, but that thing's been on the needles for like 2 years, people. It's sad, but it'll get done. Okay, so of course I'm working on my crochet granny stripe blanket. I'm not going to show that and bore you with it today because I only got a few rows done. I want to talk about Gilmore Girls because I've been doing a Gilmore Girls themed club every month for the last, has it been 6 months? This is the 6-month installment that will be going out. There were 2 rounds and each round is 3 months long. But I have to say that I am going to have to take a break from it after this December installment gets mailed out because I'm having a surgical procedure done and it's going to happen this month in December or early January. It was set for December 4th, but we had to change the surgery date just because of an insurance fiasco. So that's going to be soon, and I'm going to be kind of out of commission for a couple of weeks. So if you notice that my Etsy shop, which is called Adelaide Cottage, where I sell my hand-dyed yarn and project bags sometimes, is down or in vacation mode, I will leave a notice up there to give you an estimated time when it will reopen. Or you can sign up for an email alert that will notify you when it reopens as well. And I also will keep you guys updated on Instagram as well. So, however, as of January, so these colorways were just for club members for the first 6 months, from 6 months, 6 months from the time it was released to club members until I can release it to the public. So the first one that I came up with for round 1, installment 1, will be available in January 15th, I believe. And by then, I'm hoping that I'll feel well enough to be dyeing yarn again. But this one was inspired by this scene where, if you're not a Gilmore Girls fan, I apologize. I'll try to remember to put a timestamp in so that you can hop over to see. I have a few giveaways to announce. You can see that. You can see my Rhinebeck haul and some yarn that will be in the shop. So this was inspired from the scene where Rory and Dean broke up and she was really upset, and her mom Lorelai told her that she needs to wallow, and Rory didn't really know what wallowing meant. And Lorelai said, you just, sit in the dark, watch movies, eat tons of ice cream, order a pizza, etc., etc. And Rory's like, I'm not falling to that level. I'm not going to wallow. And then Lorelai comes home and finds Rory wallowing. And Rory goes, Mom, I'm ready to wallow now. And then she starts crying. And I thought it was a really sweet scene because she turned to her mom for comfort and she was laying on her, and it was just wonderful and lovely. So I have mine caked up because I'm actually designing a shawl. And I'm excited about it, but I'm not going to show it just yet because I still have quite a bit of work to do on it. But this is the skein all caked up. It's a golden yellow with speckles of blue and red, and let's see what else is there. Pink. There we go. So this is I'm Ready to Wallow Now. And this is just on my toasty sock base, which is superwash merino and nylon. And this is the progress keeper that came with it. It says, "I'm ready to wallow now, Rory," in quotes. And then on the other side, it says Gilmore Girls. And these were made by A Needle Runs Through It. And this shop is on Etsy. Normally, when the colorways are released to the public, I'm not going to have the matching progress keeper that was given to club members because the makers that I collaborated with only made a specific amount for my club. However, with this first one, I asked for more than what I needed, just so that I wasn't really sure with the first club how many I would sell. So I have about 15 extra. So I am going to, when I dye this colorway up for you guys in the middle of January, I will have the remainder of these progress keepers available for you. So that's really exciting. She gave me permission to sell them separately, so that's good. And then, did I show the other ones that I have yet? I think I'm going to show them all because they're just so much fun. Okay, I wanted to grab some of the others that were in the installments. The most recent, which I'm in love with, was inspired by the day that Rory was going off to college, to Yale. And she went to Luke's, and Luke told her that he would make her anything that she wanted because it was a special day for her. So she asked him for a piece of breakfast sausage wrapped in a pancake and tied with bacon. And I had to run with that one. That was just the most bizarre request ever. So I dyed this up, kind of inspired by the outfits they were wearing that day and the bacon and the pancake. And so this is called Yale Special. This was done on my toasty sock base. And I really love the way this turned out. I think this has to be a shawl. But I dyed one for myself each month because I wanted to make something really special out of all my Gilmore Girls club yarns. I'm not really sure what yet. Maybe a shawl, like a scrappy shawl, or I can definitely make scrappy socks with the leftovers, but I don't want that to be the priority. I don't know if I should make a blanket. If you guys have any ideas for about 6 skeins of Gilmore Girls yarn that I can put together, that would be really fun. Just leave it in the comments below. I'm thinking even like a So Faded pullover or something. And then Joanna of the Gnome Knitter created the most amazing progress keeper to match. I was like, Joanna, can you please make this completely bizarre breakfast concoction? And she mastered it. I have to take it out of the package, so I'm sorry for the crinkling. Just so that you can see what she did. So here is the breakfast sausage. It's a little link in there. It's kind of hard to see. There we go. Breakfast sausage wrapped in a pancake and tied with bacon. What? Completely perfect. It looks edible. It really does. So that, I feel like this was my favorite installment yet. So that's that one. And then I have, of course, this wasn't part of the club, but this was my Gilmore Girls inspired. What, baby?
I found a bag for the coins for the claw machine.
Perfect. Can you put them all in there? Okay, thank you.
Can you zip it up?
Yep. I did a special Gilmore Girls kind of tribute thing during the revival period, and this is my Pop-Tarts colorway because they love to eat Pop-Tarts, and then Joanna made a Pop-Tarts progress keeper that looks like it was bitten in two. So I have that one. Want to look? Looks like a little Pop-Tart.
It is.
I know. It's not real though. It's pretend. It looks real, doesn't it? This is my 4-year-old Evan in the background here. He's getting ready to go to school soon, so I have to make him lunch in a little while. I might have to stop and come back. This was another installment called Luke's Pancakes, because Luke always makes them special pancakes. And Joanna made a sweet strawberry pancake progress keeper. So all of these will be released starting in January, and then each month in the order of the way they came out. This is Lorelei's Dream on my Golden Twinkle base, which has gold stellina in it. And then I made this progress keeper. It's a little alarm clock. This is when Lorelei had the dream that she and Luke were married and she was pregnant, and she woke up to like 50 alarm clocks in her room dinging at 7 o'clock because she asked him to wake her up at 7. And so, yeah, that was a cute episode. And then this one is the time when Taylor of, Taylor's soda shop elected Rory without telling her as the ice cream queen. And so I thought this color represented that episode very well. The poster that he had hung up all over town. And this is from A Needle Runs Through It. It says, Ice Cream Queen. And then I apologize for my nail polish. I was dyeing yarn, and so I was washing a lot and rinsing, and it all chipped off. And then it says Soda Shop on the back in that logo. So, yeah. And then what is the other one? I feel like there's another one that I'm missing. Oh, well. If I remember, I'll put the picture here. Okay, so that's Gilmore Girls inspired things. And then this is my lovely bag from Whirly Girl Inc. on Etsy, which I love.
Everyone was taking a turn, and I got all of these.
Oh my gosh, you have a lot of stuffed animals, dude.
I got a big marshmallow, a big shake, and a chai, and a Ouija, and a dog.
Okay. And then this I recently ordered from Jilly of the Knitting Broomstick. It's Gilmore Girls inspired fabric. And then the inside is lined with this Luke's fabric. And she sent these minis. It was a Black Friday special. No, honey. No. I don't want you to knock everything down. I'll be right out, okay? Okay. Gotta give hugs. Mwah. Do you want to say hi?
No.
Okay. Watch out. Careful. Okay, so. Okay, I'm going to go make him lunch, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I wanted to show you, too, before I forget, that I swapped Advent yarn calendars with Julie of Sweet Sparrow Yarns, and I sent her one of mine, and she sent me one of hers, and I have it here in my craft room hanging up. These are all the Advent yarn calendars that she printed out of the colorways, and then there's a full skein for Christmas Day, and then each of these little envelopes is numbered 1 through 24, and I get to open one each day, and there'll be a little mini skein of a pretty new yarn colorway, so I'm really excited about that. Okay, I'm going to show you Rhinebeck. No, I'm not. I'm going to do giveaways first. Okay. So I received from Charlie Feathers, who is also Low in Fiber Arts, these 2 project bags. One of them is for you. She hand dyes and hand embroiders all of the designs, hand dyes the fabric and embroiders the design. This is her logo. So we've got this sweet tree with the bird, and this one that has the bird and the acorns and the leaves. Yeah, and it's very, very great quality. The inside is lined with this neutral fabric, which is very easy to see what's inside. And then she makes these little charms as zipper pulls for her bags. Yeah, this one's the same way. And she also included, I'm trying to find her card that she gave me. So this one, I believe I'm going to keep this one because my mom always told me I need to spend more time outdoors and sit under a tree and knit. So I have to. And that comes with sweet little handles too. But we'll see. I will post whichever one is for you, whichever one I'm not keeping. I'll post that in the Ravelry group, so be sure to head over there. The link to the group will be below this video. And there will just be a little prompt for you to answer, and then I'll pull a winner randomly to win one of the beautiful bags. But in her card, she also donated very kindly. I think this is it. Yes. She kindly donated a copy of each of her 2 patterns, which one is the Dottie shawl and the Drifting Clouds hat. And I'm going to insert pictures here. Okay, so there will be a prompt for each of those. So please only enter those if you plan to knit. If that might be something that you would like to knit, just so that it goes to somebody that will definitely use the pattern. So those contests will be in the Ravelry group as well. We also received 2 project bags from Spool Stories, and yeah, here we go. So one is for me, and one is for you. And then she also included a hand-dyed mini for me for my scrappy blanket, which was so sweet. It's beautiful. Look at those blues and purples, burgundies. I love minis. They're so much fun, and I love that she dyed it just for me. So thank you, thank you. So again, this is Spool Stories, SPOOLSTORIES. This is her little sticker that the bags came with. And I honestly love both of these bags, just like I loved the other 2. And these are the ones that she sent. One of them is a zipper, and this has this like faux leather base. This is patchwork and beautiful with a zipper top. And then the inside has this really pretty knitted pattern. And then here's her label. So there's that one. And this is a drawstring. Same thing with this faux leather base and top panel. Looks like cupcakes, candy, teacups. And the inside has clouds with a pocket and a little lavender sachet. Oh, here we go. Here's her card. That's better than showing you the... Here we go. So her shop is spoolstories.com. And that's wonderful. She's got a Facebook group too, which I'm actually thinking about starting one. It's been on my mind for a while. Since I don't podcast as often as I would like to, I thought that might be a good way for me to connect with some of you and do some live videos and things like that. So let me know in the comments if that's something that you would be interested in. Oh, that smells so good. So I'm not sure which one I'm going to keep yet. I love them both, but maybe I'll let you guys pick. But just look over in the group, the Ravelry group, and I will have more information on this with the prompt to answer to win one of these gorgeous handmade bags. The quality on all 4 of these bags is wonderful. I have no complaints. Very beautiful. So definitely check out their shops. A cute little handwritten note. Okay, so then I participated in the... I just have a... Oh, I wanted to mention... Flighty brain! I wanted to mention that all of the giveaways that I mentioned in the last episode, they were like pattern giveaways and... Okay, I just want to make sure I'm still recording. Sometimes it just stops and I'm talking to myself. All the giveaways I mentioned in the last episode, whether they be patterns or yarn or whatnot, all the winners have been drawn because I didn't want to leave everybody hanging for as long as it takes me to record an episode. So I drew winners and tagged them in the Ravelry postings, and they contacted me with their address and they've been sent off. So if you're wondering who won those very generous giveaways, please go ahead and take a look. You would have been tagged if you won, but yeah, I just wanted to mention that. I did take part in the Get Your Christmas Wish Granted event that they had on Facebook, where you kind of write what you would love, like your yarn wish for Christmas, I guess, and then somebody, if they have it to send to you, that's what happens, and then you, in return, fulfill somebody else's wish. So I was able to fulfill 5 wishes, I believe, which was awesome. One of my wishes was a skein of Harry Potter themed yarn. So I received this from Carla. She sent, and this is my first skein of Nora George. I've always wanted Nora George yarns. So this is Mrs. Weasley's Knit Club, round 4.1, and is this the colorway? Felix Felicis, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 100 grams. And it's beautiful. This is going to be a pair of socks for sure. Kind of summery, I feel like. I feel like I might start knitting these in the springtime. So thank you, Carla. And she also included these beautiful mini skeins. Christmas colors. Maybe I'll make Christmas scrappy socks out of these. Or put them into my blanket. I don't know. And then a really cute handwritten note. And it's a cottage. How sweet is that? Seaside cottage with 2 little kitties on the front porch. And I have 2 little kitties. So that was really nice. And then Claire sent me this Quere Fiber Arts skein of self-striping, and it is the Let's Dress Crazy colorway, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 463 yards. It's just a really pretty self-striping. Lots of bold, vivid colors, which is a lot of fun. So thank you, Claire. And she sent me a really beautifully smelling gingerbread hand soap that was made by Molly Klein Designs, and she also has them for sale on Etsy, as well as a really cute cheap one. So that's exciting. And then I got a really sweet enamel pin that says Yarn Snob from Kim. And that is really cute. And I put it down somewhere, and I don't know where I put it. I'll find it as I go through. Okay. We're going to do shop yarns, and then we'll go into Rhinebeck haul, just in case you're not interested in the Rhinebeck haul. So I came out with a new collection, which I wasn't planning on it being a collection until I realized that my colorway names were along the same lines as a farm, and I've always wanted to live in an old farmhouse. So this is my farmhouse collection, guys. We're going to go with it. So we have, let me grab, so far I have 3 colorways for it, and they're all tonal or slightly variegated colorways. We have this green is called Planted, and it's a tonal with a little bit of gray in it, very deep woodsy green. Let's see if I can get it to show up better. Here we go. This one is called Chicken Coop. This one was dyed on Golden Twinkle. And it's got shades of gold and beige and brown. little bit of orange. Love that one. And this is called Old Red Barn because there's a few different shades of red with some deep red and some brown in it. And it just reminded me of an old red barn. So that's super fun. And then I came out with a new Christmas colorway this year, which I'm hoping to dye more of before it's too late. But this is called Gingerbread Rock. I did put it on Instagram and Instagram stories. But very lightly speckled, fun shades of red and green. Lightly speckled enough, I think, that you could make socks or a shawl with it or a hat. And then I thought it would pair really nicely with Old Red Barn as a contrast. Let me see. So I did go ahead and wind some minis of these to sell, you know, if in case anybody wanted them with this. Let's see. Oh, and I have a new colorway. This was a custom color that one of my really good customers and knitting friends asked if I could dye for her for New Year. She wants to knit a sweater, and in her mind she had this like tonal champagne color. Her name is Kate. Kate Fish Photography, I believe, on Instagram. This tonal champagne color with rose and black speckles. So, and she wanted it on my golden twinkle base. So I think I got it. She is smitten with it, and I'm so glad, and she told me I can make it a regular in the shop. So since it was New Year's inspired, oh my gosh, I can't even hold these. We named it Bubbly. I let her have input on the colorway name. So I'm just going to hold one up now for you to see. And it's not really showing up very well in the photos, but I really love the way it turned out too. Hey, buddy. Here we go. And this is on Golden Twinkle. So this will be a regular. I do have to get some more Golden Twinkle in stock, and then I'll dye some more up. I'm going to go make my little guy lunch. I think I said that last time, but then he didn't want it. But I'm going to make it now for reals, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back again. Sorry for the interruptions. I have a little one at home, so it's, you know, have to take care of him. Priority. So I gave him lunch. I gave Evan lunch, and then didn't have enough time to come back to record, so I had to bring him to preschool. And then on the way back, I stopped for, where did I put it? Tim Hortons coffee, my favorite. It's a dark roast. I love it. And then I checked the mailbox, and the progress keepers for the last installment of Gilmore Girls until I'm recovered and healthy again to start dyeing more came, and I'm in love with them, and I'm not showing you because that would be a spoiler for everybody who signed up. But they are adorable as always. I love them. So I'll show you those on the next episode. I'm a tease, I know. Okay, so we did FOs, whips. We did shop yarn. We did Gilmore Girls yarn, and now it's time for my Rhinebeck haul. So there was one other thing I wanted to mention, actually, moving back to the Christmas yarn wishes. There was a wish that I had to receive a Lolo Did It hippos for holidays. Anyone. I think my favorite out of all the ones that she's dyed is hippos for Mother's Day, because purple and mauve are my favorite, and it looks like that shade has a lot of like shades of purple in it. But anyways, there was a girl on Instagram that so kindly offered to send me multiple skeins. And I was just blown away. I'm like, you don't have to do that. Like, one would be plenty. And apparently she sent me 3 or 4 of them and she was from Australia. And so the shipping was not cheap. And so I finally get the package in the mail, and it was opened, and there was nothing inside of it. And my heart just broke. Not for me, but for her, because she let go of these multiple skeins of yarn for me to enjoy for Christmas. Like, it was so generous and thoughtful of her to send those my way. And the post office, I don't know if it was in Australia or during customs or in America, somehow the package got opened. It wasn't taped shut, so I'm thinking the adhesive came loose, because it doesn't look forcefully opened, but all the skeins were missing. So she was out like $45 in shipping costs and the 3 skeins of yarn. All hippos for holidays. Lolo did it. So the hippos escaped everybody, and it just makes me so sad for her. So I contacted her just to let her know in case she, by any chance, got insurance or wanted to contact her local post office to see if she could find out more, and I'm not sure. She said that usually Australian Post does offer automatic insurance when you send things to America. So I'm hoping that she's able to recover those shipping costs, because that breaks my heart, but that was a bummer. But back to Rhinebeck. So I'm going to cover quickly kind of a recap of my weekend, just for those who want to hear it. I apologize if you're tired of hearing about Rhinebeck. It's a very exciting time of year for me. It's mommy time. It's my time away, to be around, people that I adore, and the fiber community, and just the whole environment there is wonderful. So my way, the way I thought when I went in was, I don't want to buy a ton of fingering weight yarn because I have so much. I just went through and added all of my yarn to my stash because I wanted to organize it a little bit better. So in my Ravelry stash, everything is updated. That's what I have. And I have way too much, and I need to start knitting through it. So I really wanted some different things, minis, or I really wanted some natural wool so that I could, do it from start to finish. I wanted to clean the wool and card it and spin it into yarn, and if it needed to be dyed, dye it. But I ended up finding, I went with my cousin Dana, Tara of Spin Monkeys, and our friend Rachel. We all stayed in a really sweet house together. And we were walking through the area where all the animals were, and, the stables that they were in, and the man that we were talking to really just touched my heart. And he told me that I fell in love with these sheep, and he told me that they are endangered. There's only like less than 200 left or something like that. I don't know, but I guess it's not a lot. And so I said, do you sell his wool? And he said yes, and he directed me to where his wife was, where they were selling the wool. And I bought 10 ounces or 11 ounces, I believe, of this. It's a blue-faced Leicester sheep. Is it blue-faced? I'm going to correct myself in the bottom because I feel like that's not correct. It's not blue-faced Leicester. It's a Leicester of some sort, but it's not blue-faced because they're endangered. I wrote it down, so I will definitely correct myself. But I have a whole bag full, and I already washed it. I washed it 4 times with, I'm sorry for the crinkling, but here it is. It's beautiful. It's not going to need to be dyed. It lightened up a lot when I washed it. So there's like gray, white, and like this really, really pretty brown color on the ends. So yeah, look at all this wool. You could make a wig with it. So I really wanted something like that, something different. I really want to learn how to use my spinning wheel, and Tara of Spin Monkeys, who is a good friend of mine and who went with us, is a great spinner, and she has offered to help me, so I just need to take her up on that and learn. Another thing that's pretty different that I purchased is, oops, I dropped my yarn, excuse me for a second, is a rug hooking kit, which I don't have a lot of. I don't have any of. It's one of the J. Connor ones, and this is the design. It's a chicken, which I love chickens, I love sheep. I love everything farmhouse. So it comes with the whole kit. You get all of the wool in here to pull through the burlap, and it comes with, I needed to buy my own rug hook, so I purchased that while I was there as well. So I got that, and then I bought this fiber wash, which is what I used, to clean the wool with. It is, well, here's all three of them. Fiber rinse, fiber wash, and power scour. So that came in, that was very useful. And then I bought these two little Notions cases. I got two of these because I feel like I'm always looking for Notions cases. But there was this cute little stand in there. Oh, it opens on the bottom here. Okay, and then it's all separated, which is nice. So you can put your needle stoppers in one, stitch markers in another, progress keepers in another. Your darning needle can go in here. So I got two of those. One of these Sock Doctor Anatomy of the Sock, Kitchener stitch, and there's a darning needle inside. So it's a little keychain that goes on your project bag. And it shows you the anatomy of the sock, which I don't really need. I kind of know that. But on the back, it gives you the Kitchener stitch information to close your toe, which I'm always struggling remembering that. So I love that idea. This came in my Indie Untangled bag. Okay, so we started the weekend Friday night going to Indie Untangled, and we went there last year and loved it. We got the VIP tickets, which lets us in the door at 4 o'clock, which is an hour before the public can go in, and it wasn't that busy. A lot of people who didn't have the tickets said they felt like they were in a sardine can, which I completely can understand, because when we left Indie Untangled, the line was astronomical to get in, so I definitely recommend if you go to try to get VIP tickets because it's not nearly that busy. I do hope, however, that they choose a different venue next year because it's getting so busy. But here's another one that came in that bag. So you pay, I think the VIP tickets are only $10 and you get this really cute tote bag. Before you enter, which you can use for shopping there and at the actual Rhinebeck event. I'll pull that back out in a second. But this is what it looks like. And I would pay more than $10 just for this on its own. It's adorable. And my friends and I, we assigned one of these animals to each of us as well. I think we gave Tara, she's the monkey because her name is Spin Monkeys, her Etsy shop and her Instagram. I don't remember. I think I'm the rabbit because I wanted an Angora rabbit and I hoard yarn. So I don't know, but it's super cute. Nice and roomy, so it's definitely worth it. And then another one of these came in it. It's another, The Knot House in Frederick, Maryland. The Knot House yarns, like Knot. This was one of the freebies that came in the bag, and it's another Kitchener instructions that you can clip onto your project bag. Then when I was there, I really wanted a Yarn-It, so I picked up one of those, and then she had a promo where if you buy one, you can get a glow-in-the-dark Yarn-It, because everybody knits in the dark. I actually do sometimes when I sit with my kids when they're going to bed, but it's a glow-in-the-dark. Yarn it! How crazy is that? So if you bought one regular, you get this one for only $10, which is a great deal. So I picked that up. I bought a few patterns. This is another Flax Farm by Primitive Gatherings. It's kind of like a table runner. But I love the saying on it. She seeks wool and flax and works willingly with her hands. And it's Proverbs 31:13. So I really love that. And then I got this pattern, not for the cowl, but because the girl at Indie Untangled that was at her booth was wearing this as a skirt over black leggings. And my cousin Dana and I fell in love with it. And she, if you buy the pattern, she sends you the alteration, the pattern adjustments or whatever to make it a skirt. And it was just way too cute. So this pattern is by, or called La Colleen. It's a reversible cabled cowl by Jennifer D. Larson. And like I said, you had to buy this in order for her to send you the skirt pattern. And then I met Kay and Amber of Maker's Haven, and then with them was Sandy of the By the Lakeside podcast. And she very kindly, she made this adorable Alice in Wonderland zippered project bag for me. How cute is that? Right up my alley. And again, she's by the lakeside. She has her own shop. And the inside is lined with this beautiful light pink. And in here are just all kinds of goodies from the weekend. What is this? What is this? Oh, there's chocolate in there. I got this. Rise and Shine with the chickens in the chicken coop pattern. And Sandy also included these beautiful hand-dyed minis from her with my bag. I just love them. I love her eye for color. They're completely me. So thank you, Sandy. I thanked you already and gave you a great big hug, but thank you again so much. And then as for yarn, hold on one second. Okay, so for the yarn that I purchased, I wanted a sweater's quantity and I wanted bijou basin because I knit a shawl with bijou basin, Himalayan trail, which has yak in it, and I loved it. But this time I tried a different one because they gave us a coupon in the Indie Untangled bag for, I think it was 15 or 20% off of your order at Rhinebeck, like at their booth. So I got a sweater's quantity of this. It's coming out more red than it is in person. It's kind of like a light, it's lighter than this. It's more, no, it's coming out more orangey. I don't like that. It's definitely lighter, but this is the Bijou Spun Himalayan Summit, which is a new base. It's 50% yak down and 50% superfine merino, and it's very soft. You get 325 yards. I would say that this is a sport weight. You get 6 stitches per inch on a 3 to 5 size US needle. The colorway is 05-19 or 05-097. So I bought 4 of them. This is not representing the color very well because I wanted to knit a tea leaves, but then there was another pattern that I saw that I really, really loved. It's similar to the tea leaves, but it has more detail, more eyelets, which I love. And my friend Kate kindly gifted it to me for Christmas. Get your yarn wish granted. So she went on my wish list on Ravelry and purchased it for me. So I'm going to insert the picture here for you. Okay, and then back to Indie Untangled for a minute. We were not able to go to Needles Up because we got the VIP tickets for Indie Untangled, and we had to be there at like 3:30 to be able to get in the door right at 4. So completely bummed, but we were not able to go to Needles Up. I'm hoping next year that we can make it there. So I really wanted one of Andre Sue Knits or Andy's Bundle Up Betty. So she luckily had it listed in her shop after the fact, and I was able to get one, and I'm so excited about it because I always knit for boys because I don't have any girls. I have 2 boys, and I love miniature things. So she's my little doll now, and I can dress her however I like. I love the idea of being able to knit patterns for her, little dresses and stuff like that. So it comes with a free pattern. Go check it out, definitely, if you're interested. And I believe she's coming out with a little boy too, which I'm going to have to get. And I think Mina Phillip designed a pattern for this as well. I'll have to double check. But then Andy was so sweet enough to include these earrings for me. It's the Needles Up logo. How fun are they? Those sheep, I love them. And then, let's see what else. I bought 2 more things from Indie Untangled. First was Nicole of Hugh Loco. This is her Color Riot mini set in the Starry Night colorway. And this is on her Glitz sock, which is, it has silver stellina in it. The superwash merino nylon and stellina. And you get 5 20-gram minis for 430 yards. So I thought this would be fun scrappy socks or a mini madness shawl. And then I know I said I wouldn't buy fingering weight yarn, but when Kristen of Wool and Vine is there, I can't say no. I love her colorways too much. So I picked up Mooncusser on Blitzed because this is just incredibly beautiful. And then at the event, I got this from Miss Babs. It's a Yowza light worsted yarn, a lot of yardage. It's the Deer Moss colorway. It's a really pretty mint because I feel like my aunt looks amazing in mint, and I would like to knit her a shawl out of it. I'm trying to find the yardage. Okay, 560 yards of 100% superwash merino wool. And it's a really pretty tonal mint color. It's got a little gray in it too, which is pretty. And last but not least, I feel like there was more, but I've been putting things away as I go. Woolfolk. Have you ever felt woolfolk? Because if you haven't, you have not lived your life. This is like, I am being honest with you, the softest yarn I have ever felt in my life. And one would think that it's like cashmere or something crazy, alpaca, I don't know. But this is 100% Ovis 21 Ultimate Merino Wool. And that's it. It's chain plied, so it looks like a little braid. But I thought this would be an amazing cowl. I ended up getting this really pretty chocolate brown colorway. Let me see if I could find the name of the colorway. Color 19. And with each skein you get 142 yards, which is 50 grams each. So I got 2 of those. And then I got this little basket because I think it's perfect for sock projects or minis. This came in the Indie Untangled VIP bag as well. You get a little mini from Nicole of Hugh Loco. It's a one-of-a-kind colorway on her Phyllis sock, Rhinebeck 2017. So, and it was such a pleasure meeting her. I met the grocery girls. I saw Mina of Knitting Expat again, Kristen of Wool and Vine, Jacqueline Salem of the Brooklyn Knit Folk podcast. Oh my gosh, so many people. The podcasting, the Periscoping sisters. The list goes on and on. So incredible. I feel like I want to live in a village with all of these people. Like, we should have our own Knitty community. I know we have it online, but I feel like we should just all move and be neighbors, right? Wouldn't that be amazing? In our dreams, right? I think that's it. I feel like I'm forgetting so much. It's really hard to catch up after being away for almost 2 months. It's always my goal to podcast more often. It just hasn't been working well for me lately. I'm going to try to actually do Vlogmas this year and have Vlogmas episodes, because those I can record on my phone. I have enough memory for short snippets like that and upload them right to YouTube. So I might be doing that, so keep an eye out. Click the like button if you enjoyed this episode, because then it'll be recommended to other people watching similar types of videos. And subscribe if you haven't already. I look forward to seeing you guys again. I appreciate you taking the time to hang out with me, and I hope everyone is well, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.